This is a review of the Brady M210 label printer kit, and I ended up going with this because it's highly recommended. There were a few other models of printers that people liked, but this one was kind of the one that got brought up the most. Has some pros and cons, but I guess for starters, I'll just kind of open it up. I repackaged it similar to how it was when I got it, just so you can see what's inside. I didn't feel like doing an initial unboxing video on it, but yeah, basically this is what you would get. Your power supply cord, the battery would have been right here, and I think the cartridge was sealed. No, I think this is actually the bag for the cartridge I bought. I think the cartridge is actually in the printer, I forget now. But as you can see, the quality of the case is really kind of lame. The foam's all tore up. I don't know if it was like that when I first got it, or if it's just when I took the stuff out, it just fell to bits. So don't know what to think about that. In general, it's not a particularly nice case. I mean, it's just kind of spongy and flimsy. I would have liked to see this to be more of a rigid hard plastic, and it's not even I mean, there's a big void and stuff in there, so it's not great. I don't even think hinge is a plastic rod, it looks like. So case is nothing to phone home about. It's just kind of whatever. Put that off the side. One thing that I found annoying is the power supply. And keen eye, you'll pick up on this pretty quickly if you know what to look for. I'll just point it out right there. So you see under 9 volts, 3 amps is the output, and then it shows that it's center negative. So there's two possibilities with this. Either one, this is just what they've always used, and they have supply chain and everything set up and they don't want to change it. Or two, they're just being assholes. Like, there's no nicer way to put it. There's no reason to make this center negative otherwise. Like, the only, like, if you're doing this to be an asshole, my guess is it's because they want to make it so you have to buy their charger. And I don't know what would happen if you were to plug a center positive charger into the power input on the side. Ideally, they have some protection circuits to stop it from self-destructing, but you really don't know with these kinds of people. Another thing worth pointing out that I've been told is if you get the kit and you get the rechargeable battery, you can't recharge the battery inside of the printer. You have to charge it externally, and it has a power jack for that. I haven't probed these points of the multimeter, but I'm assuming this is always putting out voltage, since there's not really any connectivity for intelligence. It is possible there's a BMS internally that looks for power draw and then enables the battery circuit though. I would assume that if you leave your battery in here, there will be a consistent parasitic draw, because this doesn't really shut off. It seems like it's more of a standby because it powers up pretty fast. Yeah, the rechargeable battery thing is interesting. It is kind of nice that it only uses AA battery, or it also uses AA batteries. I mean, someone else I talked to said they didn't even bother with the rechargeable kit. They used AA's, and it's lasted a while. So take that for what it's worth, I guess. So I don't know if getting the kit with the rechargeable battery was worth it or not, but I have it now, so that is what it is. Also, so I have some different cartridges. This is the cartridge that it comes with, a little nylon cloth one. It's okay. I don't really like the texture of the cloth and the way it looks, but it came with it, so can't really do anything about that. I did buy some black on white self-laminated vinyl labels. And it's part number M210-750-427. And that's what I've been using to label cables. And I've burned through a pretty good portion of it. I don't know if this will show me. I don't think it'll show you unless you do a multi-print. And I don't want to waste this quite yet, so yeah, I haven't really messed too much with the functionality beyond just printing labels. I should probably, oh there we go, dig into that some more. So it looks like I've used about half this cartridge. And I believe this one was 35 something before tax is what I was charged. People are saying that these are kind of hit or miss when it comes to aftermarket cartridges, so I haven't tried that yet. Odds are I probably won't need to buy a cartridge anytime soon. I should probably relabel all the cables in my patch panel, but I don't want to have to pull that apart, so I probably won't. I'll just stick with the terrible tape I have on it that's turning into goo. Otherwise, let's see if I can get out of there. Creating labels is pretty intuitive. Can't say the same about the keyboard. It does have a lot of fancy features, such as custom symbols, and I think you can make QR codes and other barcodes, but I just wanted to label the stuff, and just do a demo label this cable. Trying to think what I want to put on there. I need to label the connection from my modem. Just gonna say modem. And then if you want to do a second line, I was kind of confused because I didn't know what to do. So, I thought maybe I'd push down arrow or whatever. But you have to hit the enter key, which is in the center of the D-pad. And then I'm just going to type in internet. And having an alphabetical keypad is kind of annoying. And then I want to print 2 of these because I want to put 1 on each end, even though it's not really necessary. Rethinking that. I don't want to waste the label. If you want to print more than one, you hit the shift key, and then that'll change to the orange lettering is what you'll select, which would be multi-print. And then you say how many copies you want. I only want 1 copy though, so I'm not going to do that. I mean, I can do 1 copy, I guess, from this menu. You hit the enter once you select how many copies you want. And the cut mechanism is really nice. So you got these 2 things, these little buttons, levers or whatever on each side. And you're already kind of holding it with your thumb and your pointer finger, or no, your middle finger. In my case, I guess you could hold it with your pointer. I like to have my pointer back there, just for stability reasons. But yeah, you just squeeze and it slices it nice and clean. And I've noticed that I get occasionally some weird print flaws, but it looks like this one printed fine. I have another one here. I don't think it had any flaws. Whoop, there we go. But also, it's kind of hard to tell with this particular label, focus, how to get it off, but basically you just kind of towards the top, pick a corner, and then you just peel it apart. And it's fairly friendly and easy to work with. So I like to hold the cable as straight as I can. Try to put it in line. These labels I think are a little short for cable size I'm using, because I think it's supposed to overlap over the text. I'm not 100% certain on that, but it gets all the way around and it'll get itself. But yeah, that's been fine. I'm not 100% certain how they're going to hold up long term, and the heat from the servers and stuff. This one doesn't really say. It says it's outdoor durable. It's alcohol resistant. It's nice. Self-extinguishing if I ever want to try setting them on fire. You don't see a temperature rating. There's probably a technical document somewhere. But yeah, I mean, that's been fine. The user interface is fairly intuitive. I haven't tried to do anything fancy like sequential. There's probably a way to do it, but I didn't want to take time to figure out how to do it. Oh, well, actually, it might be that right there. Let's see here. A, B, and then we're going to hit Shift, Serial. Okay, yeah, so you can set increments. I'm not sure. I mean, it'll let me do. I don't really want to accidentally print though and waste labels, so I'm going to pull the labels out. Oh, well, it won't let me do that without the cartridge. But, yeah, so it seems like it's fairly intuitive. I think it'd be fun to maybe do some QR codes. I think this one will do, yeah, it'll do QR codes. I don't know if I have the right label though to do QR codes, if it'll fit on the print surface or not. But it would be cool to be able to do QR codes like on labels for like a server, so I can just hold my phone up to it and scan it and have it launch the web interface. So don't know if I'll actually end up doing that because I don't really do too much management on my phone anyways and do it from my computer, but it's something to think about. You could put a QR code to open a link to maybe do the management of the device or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, overall usage was fine, really intuitive. I mean, I didn't feel like I was really struggling. I did read the manual, but the manual didn't really feel very useful. The quick start guide is even more useless. It's a bunch of pictograms. I mean, I guess some of it makes sense, but like I didn't know what this was supposed to mean. And basically, that's showing you that you hit the enter key to do a second line. I have no clue what this one's supposed to be telling me to do. I guess type out your label. I mean, it's not the worst. I think their goal was to make it multilingual, but I feel like they could have done a little bit better job on some of that. So yeah, overall, I mean, I don't regret the purchase. I kind of regret getting the kit. I think the kit probably was a waste of money. I think it would have made more sense just to get the printer only. And I didn't want to get one of the ones that you could connect to some silly app because anything that requires an app I don't trust. Because either they use that app to spy on you and sell your information, or they use that app to obsolete your device. Well, this can't connect to my phone. Unfortunately, it can't connect to my computer either, but yeah, like they can't remotely get to this device and screw me over. So that's kind of the thing I was going for. It would have been nice to be able to plug it into a computer and send a spreadsheet to it and just have it print stuff off, but I don't really think that's the intent of this particular device. I don't think it's really meant to be like a mass production, large scale job tool or whatever. I think it's more of a like you're a service technician and you're tidying up, or you're doing small projects like redoing a server rack and labeling all the cables. So yeah, I mean, it serves its purpose. It does feel like it's fairly durable. It's supposedly rated for 4-foot drops, if I remember right. I don't know if I'd want to try that, in all honesty. I don't feel like anything would break. I feel like maybe these would get damaged, if anything, or the eject button. Or one thing I guess that could happen is you hit the eject button in the wrong way and it busts the mechanism that holds the cartridge in. But overall, I mean, it's well constructed. I don't feel like the price is too out of line. Really, I would have liked to see a higher quality case. I mean, that's probably the biggest complaint, along with I'm not super fond of the idea that these cartridges are semi-proprietary. Mostly I think it's just because they have a chip that tracks usage. So, would I buy it again? Probably not the kit form. I definitely would buy the printer. I think by itself, the printer at $100 is a good value. Depending on what power draw is like on this, you might be able to get away with using rechargeable batteries. I will have to see if I have enough rechargeable batteries to test that. I've found that things that tend to have a high power draw don't seem to play nice with the nickel metal hydride AA's, because the voltage is too low at 1.2 volts, and then power draw is hit or miss. But you know, for $100 extra to get a lackluster case, an annoying power supply, and a rechargeable battery, you know, you might be better off just getting some of the nice Energizer lithium non-rechargeable batteries and seeing how long they go. I don't know, but that just kind of depends on your use case. I don't really know how many labels I printed, but the battery's still showing full, so I may have under or overestimated how much power this thing actually draws. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully you found that interesting, and thanks for watching.